Welcome to eBuyer Live. I'm Damien, and this is a place where I bring you to the latest tips, tricks, deals, and updates. And as per usual, today is no different. Today, we are talking about Cisco Meraki. Now, more than ever, companies are looking to provide scalable networks for their employees so that they're empowered to work safely wherever they are. We are going to discuss Cisco Meraki, how they can help foster a cloud-first workforce. Sounds cool, right? So why don't you guys hang out for the next half an hour or so, maybe learn a thing or two along the way. Welcome, everyone. I hope you are well. And as you can see, I'm not alone. Today, I am joined by Mike Peck. Mike Peck, how are you this morning?
I'm brilliant, thanks, Damien. Really well.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Are you enjoying the weather?
I am. We're getting there. It'll be
We are.
nice, sunny skies soon.
Good. Yes. I mean, there's a little bit like I've got a little bit of my brain that keeps thinking the summer's here, but I know it's not. We're just, well, we're March, aren't we? Oh dear. Right. So, Mike, and this is the first time that you're live on eBuy Live. So, uh, for the guys out there, could you sort of explain who you are and what you do?
Yeah, so I am part of the solutions team here at Ebuyer, and we look after certain areas of your computer systems, and I specifically focus myself on networking. So I've got quite a bit of experience working with different customers, different sizes, and different solutions to advise on your recommended solution for the business.
Fantastic. So, networking. Have you always wanted to go into IT? Is that something you've always wanted to do?
Yeah, so I've got a keen interest in it personally, and it's something that I've had a lot, it's something that interests me greatly. So it always helps to do something you enjoy.
Yeah, it does. It does indeed. It does indeed. And how long have you been at eBuyer?
So I've been at eBay 2 years now, but I've been in the IT business for over 10. I know it doesn't look like it because I'm very youthful in my appearance.
I have that same burden. You and I, baby faces and that sort of thing.
That's it,
It's the grey hair that
exactly.
gives it away for both of us, of course. um, Fantastic, guys. If you have any questions whatsoever about Cisco Meraki, um, about a cloud-first workforce, then please don't hesitate to ask away. Type those questions into chat, and we'll get through and answer all of your questions. So, Mike, what are we here to discuss today?
So we're here to look at the Cisco Meraki platform, which is a really easy to use cloud managed platform that basically allows you to manage the network from wherever you may be and give you that really granular insight over the traditional methods of managing each element of your network separately.
Sounds good. Sounds really good. So we'll go more in depth about what you've just said there. Um, I suppose what we'll do, we'll just break it down in a couple of points first. So, Cisco, could you go into a bit more depth about who Cisco are and maybe tell us a bit about the company?
Yeah, so Cisco was started in 1984 by two students that pioneered essentially the first networks that we know of them as today. They obviously also developed a method of routing the traffic across that network. So they were the first pioneers in the networking world.
Two students. That's amazing. Do we know if they actually finished their degrees?
I'm pretty sure they may have graduated. Yes, I think one of the still sort of elements of their work is involved in the business at the minute still. So yeah, they're one of the biggest networking companies as well. So there's a lot of other vendors that borrow their technology as well.
Yeah. Okay, that's brilliant. And right, and Cisco Meraki. So there's a Meraki side to that.
Mhm.
Could you explain more about who Cisco Meraki are?
Yeah, so Cisco Meraki again started by a couple of three MIT students as part of a project there to develop a unified network management platform. It scaled out and became incredibly successful. I think Google invested in it at one point, and then in 2012, Cisco were that impressed with it, they obviously purchased and acquired the business, and they've started building their technologies into the back end of all the Meraki equipment, the hardware and the software side of things.
And sorry, what year was that? Sorry.
That was in 2012. Cisco took over Meraki.
2012. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the year I got married, so it's a very important year indeed.
There you go. Good job you remembered, Damien.
Yeah. April, May the 18th. There we go. Right, so there's a few guys in chat, but I just actually wanted to just comment on something you just said there. So, I mean, it seems to be that new technology either seems to be developed by someone in their basement or their garage, or by students at MIT, or have this amazing idea. Yeah, it's quite a conundrum. Anyway, there are a number of people in chat, so I want to say hello to Trackstar TV, Kunal Kana, Nick James, David Grant. Hello, welcome to the stream. We do have a quick question from Nick James. I don't know if you're going to be able to answer this question. If you can't, then please say you can't. But he's saying he's having trouble sourcing some stock for Meraki. He seems is there a problem there? Do you know of, or is it just that he's not looking in the right places?
Yeah, so at the minute there are some constraints around some certain lines within the Meraki product range, but by all means, Nick, if you want to send us over an email to solutions@ebuyer.com, we'll be able to advise some lead times on the kit that you're looking at, and perhaps look at the range and see what the lead times look like for different items.
Thank you, Mike. That's a great answer. Great answer. So, guys, if you are new to the eBuyer live streams, essentially what's going to happen for the next 30 minutes or so, myself and Mike will be talking about, on this particular show, we're talking about Cisco Meraki and how Cisco Meraki can help foster and empower a cloud-first workforce. I need to put my teeth in today. So if you're watching live or even on demand, we would love to hear from you. So don't forget to, if you've got any questions, put them into chat, and we'll get round to answering those questions, even if it is after the time in which we are actually live. So get involved in the comments. Also, caring is sharing. So if you know anybody at all who would be interested in this type of stream, make sure to make them aware of it, because every little bit helps. Right, so as the title suggests, Mike, we're going to be discussing Cisco Meraki and how they can support a cloud-first workforce. But before we go any further, I believe we should take a few moments to appreciate the many people around the world who, in recent years, have had their ups and downs when they've been working, remotely. So we have a few videos to showcase. So are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's roll VT for number 1.
Two words that we put together to make another word. Moon and light form moonlight. The next word we have is cooler bag. Cooler bag can also be a compound word. Cooler and then bag.
Oh dear, you have to emphasize. I emphasize with her. I don't know. We've all had meetings. We've had to. We've been at home, and something like that has happened. It certainly has happened to me. I've had my kids walk into a meeting, which is a pain. What about you, Mike? Have you experienced anything like that before?
I do, yeah. I do occasionally have some company asking what Dad's up to and why he's looking at the screen. With a little bit of help. The particular bit about that video was the last hello before they got dragged off screen. That made me chuckle.
I think that the most embarrassing thing for me is just I live. My office is in my loft, as you can tell. So I'm on the 3rd floor of my house, and my wife, when she shouts, she sometimes has a little bit of a screechy voice, which is lovely. I love her to bits, but when she shouts, she has this little screechy voice. And I was in a meeting one time, and everyone in the meeting heard, "Damien, lunch is ready." I'm like 40 years old, and I felt like 12. Like your mum's calling for your lunch. Oh dear. Right, I don't even know why I shared that. So let's jump into video number 2. Let's play clip 2.
3, 2, 1. More cold air 3, 2, 1. Cold air continues across the area tonight. Potential for some frost and freeze for some of us. Warm up, it's going to take...
Been there too. Bless Amazon. Please don't ring the doorbell. That scenario.
Oh dear, oh dear. I don't. Was he in a meeting, or do you think he was recording something for the news channel at some point? Because he kept counting down.
Yeah, I
so
think he
I'm
was
not sure
attempting to at least, Damien.
Yeah. Brilliant, guys. We'd love to know in chat if you've had any experiences whilst going through these challenging times of anyone getting involved in your meetings that they shouldn't necessarily be doing so. Right, clip number 3, I think.
Out from the last recession, it offers a job to anyone who wants one. During COVID-19, we must make sure that our nation's sole proprietors and the smallest of small businesses receive timely.
Will the gentleman suspend? I'm sorry, Mr. Emmer?
Yes.
Are you okay?
I am.
You're upside down, Tom.
I don't know how to fix that.
Would someone...
That is hilarious. That's hilarious. I don't even know how they would have done that. Have they mounted their web camera upside down?
I would. It looks like he's about as useful as I am on Teams. So that's yeah. I imagine he's probably struggling with that a little bit.
Well, this is the thing. So many people have gone through recent years where they've had to maybe they've got a device that's for the whole family. You might have a young child or teenager messing about with filters and that sort of thing. I do remember something similar actually, where someone was on quite an official call and they had cat ears.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't know how to get rid of it. Oh dear. I can safely say I've never had anything like that happen where I've been upside down or had a weird filter on that I can't get rid of.
I've avoided all of that. Yeah.
Good. Right, so now that we've seen some of the best, for us anyway, and worst things that can happen working sort of in the untethered office, let's talk about how Cisco Meraki can create smarter workplaces, manage IT, and keep things simple and easy. Okay, so Mike, we have a team on the line. They're obviously this cloud first team where they're working from essentially anywhere. So we're going to check in on them in a few seconds, and they're going to pose some questions to you. But before we do that, can you explain and show us maybe what kind of thing Cisco Meraki can do to help a typical business?
Yeah, so one of the things that obviously is a bit of a struggle for people nowadays is the general management of the network. It really is something that could be a lot easier, a lot more efficient, and you could get a lot more visibility with everything being in one place. So evidently that would assist you, given that even if you were remote, you could be on holiday. I wouldn't recommend working whilst on holiday, or you could just be working from home, but still have full visibility of what's going on the network, so that if that does come into your day-to-day, if there are any issues, you can check in there and see whether there's anything that you can assist with through the dashboard that you can access. So I'm just going to run through a couple of areas that are of interest really with Meraki specifically. So as we log in, we get a really nice organizational overview of the networks themselves and the ones that you manage. So if you've got multiple sites, you can also drill down into each independent site and see those and manage those as if you're there. So again, not necessarily maybe someone working at home, but maybe if you've got distributed sites across the country, you can access those very easily through the overview page. So here we've got a couple of networks that we can see we've got access to on this dashboard. So you could have your site 1, site 2, head office, dispatch, this, that, whatever works for your organization. One of the things that's really nice about the platform is the fact that you can see everything in one place, and you can drill down quite granularly into the information for each element of the network. So if we want to look at, say, the applications that are in use on the network, we can see essentially the usage of those applications, how many people are using those, the total bandwidth that's been used, and we can see a lot of insightful information and peaks and troughs throughout the evening and the daytime of where the network's been used at a glance, so we can spot anything that we need to be aware of from that perspective. We can also manage quite a lot of our organization through clients as well as devices, which is something slightly different to others. So if I'm in my dashboard from any point, I can click on here and say potentially look at my device.
Yeah.
And it will bring up a full list of everything that's linked into to give me my connectivity. So I should be able to see here roughly whereabouts we are and how my laptop is connected to the wireless, which is connected to that switch, which is connected to that switch and that switch. And we can obviously see as we go through where we've got issues or if there's a problem on the network. So it's quite insightful. We can drill down then to see whether there's any problems by selecting a unit. And it will bring up that units page. So we can even see which switch we're connected to, which port we're connected to, and all the insight we possibly want to see on those units. So it's a really nice, clean, easy to use dashboard. And we also get some very familiar interfaces on here as well. So often if you've got a vendor that looks after your switching and a vendor that looks after your routing and a vendor that looks after your wireless, you might have different interfaces, different web pages to go on. We can get a really nice overview of each area of our network. Here we don't have a security device, so we've not got that section, but we've got switches and the wireless. As you can see from the wireless, it's a very similar platform. It's very familiar. There's not a lot to get your head around with regards to finding settings. They're all there available to you at a click. So it's a nice, simple way to review things in that you're not having to learn different platforms and slightly different ways of doing things. It's all in one spot, so it's very easy to get your head around.
Brilliant. Thank you, Mike. Thank you very much. So this is all in one place. This is all in one place.
Yes. Yes, and you
That's
can access this on a mobile application. You can access this on the internet through your PC, like we're doing here, but that don't have to be on site. You can do that from anywhere in the world.
Fantastic. Tom Burbridge has just joined chat and said, "Great job, Mike." Do you know him?
I do know Tom. Yes, thanks a lot, Tom, for that.
I mean, you said you can access this from anywhere in the world. I mean, we'd never condone anyone working whilst we're on holiday, but you could. If the technology is there. I also love the fact that it's familiar, like you say. So your lights have just gone off.
We're back. The camera's adjusted.
I like that it's familiar. So like you say, you can go from one part to the next. And you don't need to readjust. It's there. The UI is, is very familiar. So
very intuitive.
The learning curve, I suppose, is going to be quite quick for this platform.
Yeah. So with other vendors, you might have the offer of when you're purchasing those. Oh, by the way, you could do the accreditations and get really in depth. And there's lots of really technical elements to it. This solution is as scalable for small business as it is enterprise. It's a very universally managed platform, really easy to use.
Yeah, fantastic. Right, we do have some questions from our cloud first workforce. So here is our first question.
Hey, Mike Peck, David here. So I'm back at the office now. Dealing with all those fun things to do with our network. So could you tell us a little bit about how Cisco Meraki might help us simplify and manage things here?
Yeah. So we'll just quickly have a glance at that now.
I'm just gonna read out the question again because it was I think for me anyway it's a little bit quieter. So I just want to make sure everyone's clear on that question. can you talk about how Cisco Meraki can help us simplify and manage things here at the office?
Yeah, so one of the things we can see even on this screen here is we've done a few changes to our network currently. We've upgraded a couple of access points, but we can see here, okay, so I've got a problem. It might be that David sat there thinking, well, I can't access the network, I'm having problems. We can just literally drop into the network-wide overview and see at a glance, okay, so we've only got 47 out of 48 healthy. Where's my problem? We can literally click on the issue and identify exactly what's going wrong with that access point and why it's gone faulty, what the issue is. And it'll tell you in there a summary of the issue. So there we're saying that there's a bit of congestion on that frequency for the wireless that it's set to. So we might go in there and adjust the channel that the network access point's on, and that might mitigate the issue and resolve the problems for us.
When you say congestion, so would you be able to see what devices are connected to that area?
Yeah, so we should be able to see our connections and identify the devices that are having a problem. So here we can see a couple of our scanners. That's why they're coming up as MAC addresses. And we can see there that obviously those are having great difficulty connecting back to this network. So essentially what we could do though is think, well, okay, David's got a problem. So we could put David's address of his laptop into there. In this case, we'll use mine and select it. And then at a glance, we'd be able to see there whether we've got a problem with any element of the network. So we covered that briefly off before, didn't we? But
yes,
we can see there the full path of where this connectivity is going out to the internet. So ours leaves on that switch there. And if we had a problem, we'd be able to see that within one of these elements. So we do have a little bit of an error there, but that's nothing to be concerned with at this point in time. But we can easily troubleshoot on a client basis rather than the access point itself. So we can be really granular with realizing what my issues are with my device, rather than having to look at the wireless and then maybe it's a switch issue, maybe it's a connectivity issue. We can see at a glance where we're at with that.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well answered. Fantastic, guys. If you have any questions for Mike, please don't hesitate to put them into the comments. If you are new to the Ebuyer live streams, essentially what we're doing, we are talking about Cisco Meraki, and so if you know anybody who would find this particular stream useful for them, make sure to let them know, make them aware of this stream. Okay, we have another person from the company with another question for you, Mike.
Hey guys, I'm off to a client meeting today and I was wondering, when I get into the coffee shop, am I going to be safe and secure when I'm using open Wi-Fi?
Yeah, that's a really good question. The simple answer is potentially not. So what we'd always
I'll just again, just for everybody, just to make sure that they are aware of that question. So is it all right for us to be on this on a coffee shop Wi-Fi, getting the deal done?
So evidently we would recommend not just connecting to a public wireless service without some sort of VPN connectivity. The benefit of Meraki is that if you have the security device, which unfortunately we don't have on there today, you actually get unlimited VPN connectivity and a one-click setup. So if you've got a user out and about, they should be able to connect back to your security device that's powered by Meraki with a simple connect icon, and that would securely route them through your security device on site.
So it's a one-click setup, you say?
It is, yeah. There's a one-click setup for the base VPN connectivity. It pulls its certificates in itself and authenticates itself, and basically it's using Cisco's technology in the back to present you with a really easy click, enable, connect functionality.
Yeah. No, I mean that's really useful because there are so many people in a workforce, and yes, we all use laptops and computers and other smart devices, but we're not computer experts, not all of us. So having that one-click setup is obviously extremely useful for all staff. Yeah,
it is indeed, and it saves the headache on the technical end of being a long configuration process. It's very easy to use.
I just want to say hello to Nick Evans, Tom Burbridge, Tyler J. Goodley. Welcome to the stream, Sam Byte, I think that's how you pronounce their surname. Welcome to the stream. If you have any questions about Cisco Meraki, then and the cloud first workforce, then please don't hesitate to ask away. Right, we have our third and final question. So let's roll that question.
Hi, Liam here. With Meraki, what's different about Meraki for connecting into the work network? And what if I needed tech support?
I'll just, again, Mike, I'll just read that one out again. So what's different about Meraki and connecting into the work network? And what if I need tech support?
So, I mean, one element of it, again, is that granular visibility and the visibility of devices everywhere. So one thing that you could include with Meraki is the systems manager. So if you've got a device that's out and about in the wild and you want to, say, enable a specific reader, a really good example was I was doing a training course before and I needed an EPUB reader and I don't have permissions on my laptop to install that kind of software. So you could go into systems manager, pull up the laptop, drag the application you want to install on there. It'll push that to the laptop or tablet or mobile phone, and then that would give you access to that document that you want to open. And it obviously, as an IT manager or technician, it gives you the control over those devices, but also the ability when they're not there to fix problems for them.
Fantastic, fantastic. So just to clarify there, I think Liam was at home at the time. So, that's great because, there are a lot of people that are working, in hybrid roles or remote roles. And talking to IT must be extremely difficult. So, that is a fantastic solution.
Yeah, it's very easy to control a device that's connected to the internet through the systems manager because you're not having to log me in to their PC and or team viewer in and manage it that way. You can just drag the application that you want on there or change the settings that you need to change without having to go and connect and control their desktop.
Brilliant, brilliant. Mike, we have come to the end of the stream. You have been absolutely fantastic guest. Guys, thanks for some of the questions that you can come through and thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to mention to anybody that might be interested in this particular stream. Today we've been looking at Cisco Meraki and how they can empower a cloud-first workforce. Mike, it's been a pleasure, an absolute pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed yourself.
I have indeed, yeah. It's been a great morning.
Good. There is an email that keeps going across the bottom. So if you have any questions, then you can write to solutions@ebuyer.com. Sorry. And
just to add as well.
Yeah, go on.
I think really quickly, if anybody does want to go through a demo with me on Teams and actually look at the full solution and then have any in-depth questions, we can run through that and I can obviously do you a bespoke demonstration of the platform and you can see any areas that you might have particular concerns with and we can get those addressed.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. And a last comment from Tyler J. Goodley. That's a great innovation. Installing new software into work desktop laptops is a huge issue normally. I say normally, I can't quite see what the end of the comment quite that says, so I'm assuming not what he says. But yeah, no, it is a great innovation. Absolutely. Fantastic. Right, so that's the end of our stream. Thank you for all the comments. And don't forget to share, because sharing is caring. I've been Damien Reed. He's been Mike Peck, and we'll see you very soon. Bye for now.
Bye.